The compact truck market has made a huge comeback thanks to the Ford Maverick and Hyundai Santa Cruz, and now there are many new players in the game, and Subaru is one of them. But Subaru is targeting a new group of customers who want power and functionality more than anything. This is because the Maverick has already garnered a huge advantage, and Subaru doesn't want to fight a rigged battle. Instead, with the new Baja, they're going to do what they do best. And this is what that looks like. Insanely powerful engine options. Subaru currently lacks a hybrid engine that can rival the popular hybrid setup of the Maverick. So instead, the company will rely solely on a gasoline powertrain. The most likely options for the Subaru Baja are the 2.5-litre engine that produces 182 horsepower, which comes standard on the Outback, and the 2.4-litre turbocharged engine that produces 260 horsepower. The new Subaru Baja will also come equipped with Subaru's signature symmetrical all-wheel drive system. This system is designed to power all four wheels continuously instead of the standby mechanisms in many other pickups, which some off-road enthusiasts prefer over anything else. This is something that the compact truck market needs more of. The Baja will fill that void, but this needs to be talked about in detail, so stay tuned and watch the whole video because we will do that. This engine is already very powerful, however the company may experiment with different configurations to moderately improve its capabilities. Because the continuous variable transmission on the Outback has not been very popular, with customer reviews indicating disastrous results. But what will be the possible transmission then? Possible gearbox options. Although it is unlikely that base model engines will have a manual transmission, the target market that Subaru is trying to reach will definitely appreciate it. So for this reason, even the base model might get a 6-speed manual. The new WRX offers it in combination with the turbocharged engine, and the Baja will offer it too, at the very least on the turbocharged engine. But the CVT is better when it comes to decreasing environmental impact, and Subaru will be at a crossroads here because they don't offer a hybrid engine, and if they don't offer the CVT, they might get a bad reputation, and Subaru has been pushing to be more environmentally friendly. However, the main purpose of manufacturing is to sell for profit, and buyers would appreciate Subaru's dedication to answering their customers' needs. What would you prefer, an all-round powerful truck or a compromise just to save face? And having a good transmission means better towing capability and better durability, but that is something we'll cover in depth later on. Now let's talk about the design features. Interior design. The new Baja will very likely resemble the Subaru Outback, just like it did 20 years ago. But the Outback has transformed so much in those years, and the Baja will do the same. But Subaru might also want to pay homage to their old models, and doing so will not only make it aesthetically pleasing, but also make it seem more rugged and actually reflect the power and intentional decision that Subaru is making to make it more appealing to their target market. Although the Baja was discontinued because of low sales and poor demand, it was very powerful, so Subaru will definitely want to try to make it look somewhat similar and profit from the established brand identity it has. However, the old Baja was also expensive. One of the reasons for its failure was the price tag. But before we talk about that, let's continue on with the design because things get really interesting on the outside. Very unique exterior design. Just like the interior, the exterior will also take many inspirations from the Outback. From all the renderings and insider information, we know that the new Baja will look like an SUV with truck-like features at the back end. And the old Baja was designed like that too. The Subaru Baja will have a crew cab configuration with 4 doors, like other compact pickups. But the Baja will be shorter in wheelbase and length, which means a smaller cargo bed. So Subaru will need to be clever and make the bed more flexible to match other pickups. The old Baja had a smart way to make the bed bigger besides the usual bed extender that could add more length to the bed. It had a small gate at the back of the cabin which would bend inward and lay flat with the rear seats. This way it could hold 7.5-foot long items, which was the same as many full-size pickups. The new Baja should have a similar or better solution for the bed space. Bed flexibility is very important for any pickup, and Subaru will have to make the Baja as useful and adaptable as possible. With the right design and engineering, the Baja could be a very capable and flexible pickup that can handle any cargo needs. Because what will be the point of making such a powerful truck if it can't carry large cargo? However, the Baja will not have the strength and power issues when it comes to towing and even carrying heavy loads, because that mainly depends on the platform and the engine, which Subaru has made very powerful. So let's talk about the capabilities now. Towing capacity. The new Subaru Baja is expected to be able to tow at least 5,000 pounds, which is 1,000 pounds more than the Maverick. The Hyundai Santa Cruz can also tow up to £5,000, but it is slightly more expensive than the Maverick. Having a higher towing capacity is a significant advantage for the Subaru Baja, as it allows owners to haul heavier loads with ease. This will be a major selling point that sets it apart from its competitors. With this feature, the Baja is sure to appeal to a wide range of buyers who need a capable and reliable compact pickup for their towing needs. It might be very appealing to buyers who aren't even in their target demographic. But now, let's talk about another advantage of the Baja: off-road capability. Baja is also the name of the famous off-road race in California, and we expect the Subaru Baja to be a very capable off-roader. Not just because of the name itself, but because it is full of off-road features. It starts with Subaru's well-known symmetric all-wheel drive, which is one of the best in the industry. This would give it a big edge over its rivals. For instance, the Maverick Hybrid doesn't even offer all-wheel drive. The Turbo 4 has a system that is mostly front-wheel drive and doesn't have much off-road potential. Subaru's system, on the other hand, always sends power to all wheels and has excellent balance thanks to the ideal engine position and equal-length half axles. The company's X mode should also be standard in all models. This system controls the engine output, transmission, all-wheel drive torque split, and braking system, which all help a lot in tougher off-road situations. Another very important feature for off-roading is ground clearance. The standard Outback has 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is more than the old Baja's 8.3 inches. So the new model would have the same or more ground clearance, while the Wilderness trim would have even more. The Outback Wilderness has 9.5 inches of ground clearance, but the Baja Wilderness could have more with better suspension and tires since trucks need it more. Beside higher ground clearance, the Wilderness trim would also bring more suspension upgrades, skid plates, and reshaped bumpers for better approach and departure angles. All-terrain tires and extra drive modes will also be included. With these features, the Subaru Baja would be a very capable off-roader that could handle any challenge. Release date and availability. Just like we said earlier, the Baja is designed for a specific type of customer, and that means demand will be lower, especially compared to the Maverick. And this means Subaru will have the production capacity to match the demand and also be able to focus on satisfying its niche demographic. Subaru has not officially announced the launch of the Baja, but many of its executives and dealers have been teasing enthusiasts for months. It is expected to hit the market early next year. This means that it will be announced shortly after summer, and the company will likely start taking orders in the fall. Additionally, designing for a specific demographic means Subaru will be able to offer a competitive price and impressive features, which brings us to the next feature: a realistic and affordable price. The actual price will be very important, as buyers in this segment are relatively more sensitive to price tags than others. After all, the entire premise behind the rise in popularity of compact pickups has been the need for relatively affordable trucks. The Ford Maverick has been able to capitalize on this situation by debuting with a $20,000 MSRP last year. However, for the 2023 model year, the company undertook a slight price hike, with the starting price to be around $22,000 for the base trim. Obviously, there are more expensive trims for the Maverick, but the base variants are a good proxy for the rest of the lineup. We expect the new Subaru Baja to start at around the $25,000 mark for its base trim. The base trim will likely feature a 2.5-litre engine, which is not the turbocharged model. As a result, the towing capacity might be below the £5,000 mark. Although the $25,000 price tag is higher than the Ford Maverick, the newer model is expected to be priced up next year and will come in closer to the $25,000 mark. And not to mention, the $20,000 starting price hasn't been a reality as dealer premiums and heavy demand have driven up the price beyond control. Ford has chaos on their hands. But just like we explained earlier, Subaru will have a much better chance of dealing with such problems. And the price will also be in line with the current price of the Hyundai Santa Cruz, so we know that there are buyers who are willing to pay a little extra. But what is your takeaway after all of this? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.